Hi, and welcome to Professor Pincushion. I'm Tova, and today we have a fun project for you. I'm going to show you how to sew your own full apron. Everyone could use a good apron, and our apron is easy to make. We'll take you through each step and you'll have a professional apron in no time. If you're ready and have some cute fabric in hand, let's go ahead and get started. Here are some of the supplies I'm going to be using in today's project. I have fabric. You need about a yard of this. I would prefer using something that has a little bit of body to it, so something like a canvas home decorating fabric or a laminated cotton. You just want to make sure that you're able to clean it, so definitely check out those care instructions. There are some pattern pieces which you can download off our site. I have some fabric scissors, 2 packages of the extra wide double folded bias tape, all-purpose thread, some straight pins, fabric marker, and then not seen here is going to be my sewing machine. This apron consists of 2 pattern pieces. You have your main apron piece and then you have your pocket. Now from each of these pieces you need to cut one out of your fabric, but each piece needs to be cut on the fold, and you can see I have an indication right here on which side gets placed on the fold of your fabric. So you're going to pin around and then cut on the sides that are not on the fold. So then when you open it up, you're going to end up with a piece that's twice as big as each pattern piece. Also make sure if you're using directional fabric like I'm doing, that you place your pattern so it's going in the correct direction. So this is the top and the bottom goes in this direction. We're first going to work with our pocket piece. You're going to take some of your bias tape and you're going to cut a strip so you have enough just to go along this top edge here. So let me go ahead and cut that real fast. If it's a little bit bigger, it's okay, as long as it's not smaller. Take your bias tape and you're going to open it up. If you want to lightly press it, you can do it, but you don't want to get rid of any of the creases that you have inside of your bias tape. I'm going to take this pocket piece, I'm going to flip it over so I'm looking at the wrong side of the pocket. I'm going to line up one top edge of my bias tape with this top edge of my pocket, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it into place all along the straight edge. Here's a little bit of a closer look. So the right side of my bias tape is going to the wrong side of my pocket piece. So we're looking at the inside of my bias tape right now. And you can see I can continue folding it, but it'll kind of fold on itself as well. I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch right in that crease. When sewing in your crease, you're just going to use a regular straight stitch. So it's just a regular length, and then don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and end of your stitch. Go back to the right side of your pocket piece, and here's my bias tape stitched on to the wrong side. I'm going to allow it to fold over on itself again, but I'm going to take this side that's still folded and bring it over to the right side. You want to try to get the folded side of the bias tape to at least meet your stitches. If you can cover it, even better. And I'm going to do this for the whole front. So we're going to have a nice finished top to our pocket. And you can go ahead and pin it into place, and then you're going to stitch right along this folded edge. I'm stitching about 1/8 of an inch away from the folded edge of my bias tape, so it's probably going to catch the bias tape on the other side as well. And you can use a matching thread if you wish. I'm just going to go ahead and use a contrasting thread color. And don't forget to back stitch, and this is again just a regular straight stitch. Grab your main apron piece, place it right side up. On the pattern you should have a dashed line that you transfer to your fabric piece, and this is for the pocket placement. So I just did that with a fabric marker. I'm then going to grab my pocket piece, also right side up, and I'm going to place it down here at the bottom of my apron piece. So I'm matching up this top edge with my dash line, and the bottom of the pocket should also line up with the bottom of the apron piece here. I'm going to go ahead, pin it into place, and then I'm going to do a basting stitch right along this bottom edge from the top of this bias tape to the top of this bias tape over here. So we're not stitching in the middle here. This is going to go ahead and stay open for now. When doing the basting stitch, you don't have to worry about doing any back stitching. This is just a temporary stitch to hold these two pieces together for now. And you want to do the longest stitch that you have on your sewing machine. You'll notice on my pocket pattern, I have this pocket stitch line. This is if you want to do divided pockets instead of just one big pocket. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and transfer those marks. You can see I already did it with my fabric marker, and this is just serving as a guideline. So now I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch on each one of these lines from the bottom to the top, and then that's going to give me 3 individual pockets. When sewing your pocket stitch lines, you can just use a regular length straight stitch, and don't forget to back stitch. Next, you're going to attach some more bias tape, and you're going to do it in 2 parts. The first part is you're going to do it up here at the top, the straight edge. Then you're going to start here on the side. You're going to go around the curve, and then you're going to end at this point too. So the only 2 places that are not going to have bias tape are going to be the 2 curved areas on the side, and you're going to apply it in the same way that we did the pocket. Just for a reminder, whatever section you're sticking your bias tape to, you're going to open up the bias tape, you're going to pin it along the top edge to the wrong side of the apron, and then you're going to stitch in the crease. After the bias tape is stitched into place, go ahead and refold it over so the folded edge comes to the front, and then you're just going to stitch along the fold. I'm going to open up a brand new package of bias tape because I'm pretty much going to use the whole thing in order to create the waist ties, finish these curved edges, and do the neck strap. And in a package you get about 3 yards of bias tape, and that's about how much you're going to need. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take one end of bias tape, I'm going to measure 30 inches of that bias tape. We'll say it's about right here, and I'm going to make a mark. This mark is going to match up with this edge point down here. So I'm just going to pretend like I have my 30 inches right here. I'm just going to leave them off to the side. Where my mark is, again, it's going to match up to this point, and I'm going to open up my bias tape just like I did before, and I'm going to start pinning it to the wrong side of this curved area and stop when I get right here. On the curved edge here, I just have my bias tape pinned to the wrong side. And this is still a single piece of bias tape. I haven't cut anything. Now we're going to form our neck strap. So I'm going to pull some of this over here. And I'm just going to keep it flat like this. I'm not going to open it up. And I'm going to pin it to this side. Now, if you're unsure of how much to make, or the length of the strap to be, I would start about 20 inches. Go ahead, pin it, try it on, make sure you can put it over your head. And if you need to make it a little bit smaller, you can always make it a little bit smaller, or you can make it larger if you need to. Once I get to this side, I'm going to do the same thing I did over here, where I'm going to open it up and pin it to the wrong side. This should give you a better idea on what's going on with this bias tape. So I have my 30 inches of bias tape here for the waist strap. Then I opened it up, pinned it to the wrong side of this curved area, created my neck strap. Just make sure you didn't accidentally twist this. From here, it's opened up and pinned to the wrong side of the curved area. And then I have 30 inches of bias tape here for the other side of the strap. You're going to take it to the sewing machine, and anywhere that it's pinned, which is this area and this area, you're going to go ahead and stitch right in that crease line just like we did before. Refold the bias tape. So where you had stitched in the crease, you can now fold it over to the right side. So it's going to look really nice and neat. We're going to do one long stitch just to finish everything up. So I'm going to start here at the end of one of my straps. And just because I don't want this raw edge here, I'm just going to fold it over, say about a ½ inch, and then refold it. So then you have a folded edge on this side too. If you need to, you can go ahead and pin the bias strip closed, because what we're going to do is we're going to stitch right on the end, all the way along the strap. Then you're going to come here, and this is one single stitch. You're going to do your finishing top stitch here. You're going to continue on with the next strap. So this is not going to fold open anymore. It's going to stay closed, and you're going to go on here, here, and then go ahead and finish up with this strap. And don't forget to also fold this in about a ½ inch and then refold it so you end up with a folded edge here as well. With the last step done, you now have a new apron. If any basting stitches are showing from when the pocket was attached, don't forget to remove them. If you make an apron, please send us a picture. New tutorials are released weekly, so please subscribe to be notified of the next release. Make sure to check out our other videos and visit ProfessorPincushion.com to view our complete library with well over 200 sewing video tutorials, including our exclusive premium content. Our premium membership is only $5 a month for unlimited access and only available at ProfessorPincushion.com. Also, don't forget to download our mobile app for videos on the go. Thanks for watching.